cabin crew, even a little mistake, they will fire you. If I do not do my customer service and deliver, how am I going to have a repeated business? So it's about the brand. You have to build your brand.
Welcome back to the Rubasha Family Podcast. Now, guys, I have a very special guest over here. We've had family here staying with us. My lovely auntie, who I haven't seen since your amazing wedding. Welcome on the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sujira.
So yeah.
Thank auntie, you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I'm so proud of you. What you're doing is amazing. Not many people can sit down and do what you're doing. I think it's very amazing. Somebody like me, I would love to do what you're doing, but I'm not very good when it comes to podcast. But yeah, today I want to be part of it and I'm excited.
Awesome. So it's amazing. I want to go back to your story. By the way, guys, you see my auntie's here looking very beautiful. Like, that's why they say black don't crack, auntie. If I was to go out, she looks like my sister, So you look amazing, by the way. I just wanted to say that. Thank you so much for taking time, out of your day. I was telling you on Facebook how I always appreciate the way you show love and the way you support.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you want to tell them your name, where you're from, and a little bit about where do you remember life started from the beginning?
Okay. So my name is Lois. Though my dad put so many names, so sometimes I get confused. So it's Lois, Shinaka, Magunda, Karamoja.
Shinaka,
Magunda, Karamoja.
Yes. So that's how dad, he was saying Shinaka.
So my surname is Karamoja. I haven't been able to change my officially to Sipo because when we got married, it's a little. You have to fill a form, but we missed that. But I mean, I'm going to do that soon. Okay. And change format.
So the name Shinaka, where does that come from?
Actually, Shinaka comes from Cabras, the tribe. So and I actually love that name. I wish I can just be called Shinaka, not Lois. Most people who know me a lot, they call me Shinaka, like obviously your mom. Yeah, and Rosalind calls me Shinaka. Actually, most people call me Shinaka. The ones who call me Lois, then they really don't know the deep secret in me.
And to be honest, I really love that name, Shinaka, by the way. What does it mean?
Shinaka. But can you tell me what Shinaka is? To be honest, I have to ask my dad. I am not very sure what it means.
Okay, cool. So, yes, tell us about your upbringing.
Oh, my upbringing. Oh my goodness, that is one thing. You've actually mentioned that, and it's something that I've always wanted to talk about. I came from a very humble family. Very humble. When I say humble, very humble. Even right now, we have siblings of 8. So I have my 5 sisters and my 3 brothers. And to be honest, they're all humble. I'm the one who maybe sometimes I can be very, very, how is it called? I'm still humble, but I'm very outgoing. Very outgoing. That's what has made me who I am. And my mom has been a pastor from when I was born. I've never seen her teaching us the other way, but good deeds, since when we were kids. And we really struggle. That's what I'm saying, that we came from a very humble beginning. Not that we struggle in the sense that we didn't lack. My mom really worked hard. My dad worked hard too. So we managed to go to school, all of us, the 8 kids. We managed to have food, though we struggled to here and there. But my mom somehow really struggled for that. And that's why I call myself a Proverbs woman 31.
What does Proverbs 31 say?
So Proverbs 31 talks about this woman who's a very hardworking woman. They are very virtuous, I say I'm a virtuous woman because I never wanted to struggle in life. And I never wanted my kids to ever struggle. That's why I put myself as a Proverb 31 woman, because um, they are um, they're very throb character. You know, when I say that, is they thrive, they follow their dreams. So for me, I started when I was a child, through my journey, which I say, you know, I wasn't that, because I looked at it this way. There's a lot of ways that you can make money, you know, in the sense that you don't have to really, a lot of people, they're book smart, but I didn't see myself that way. I thought I was a street smart. So I was like, you know what, let me follow my dreams. So at that time,
How old were you at this point?
I was actually, I just finished high school. I did some courses here, and then I was very good with hair, you know. So at that point, I went into full hairdressing.
Okay, well, let's trace a little bit back. So
Yeah.
you mentioned something which I don't want to skip over. 8 siblings.
Uh-huh.
So what order were you in that 8? And what are the siblings?
So in the family, I'm the fifth. So I have, we have Lucy, we have Mabel, we have Wilhite, we have um Marlene, and then we have me, then we have Bram, and then we have Haid, and then we have Usisa.
How many years apart? Is it a lot?
Not many. The older ones, they're like 3 years apart. Some are 2 years apart. Yeah, we were very close to each other actually.
Let me ask you just a quick question. How comes you think like your parents, our grandparents, they had so many kids compared to we don't see much of that now. Like 8 kids, wasn't that quite familiar back then? That's normal.
Mhm.
Why do you think that's changed?
I feel like it's the lifestyle. Everything has just become very expensive. You can't really afford if you have too many kids, and especially when you're living in the city, you can never afford. But as for us, we were grown in a farm, you know. So most things we got was grown, you know. So little things here and there we could buy, but we used to go to the market, you know, we used to have farms around. So that really helped. But in the system now, it's very hard because obviously everything, people are relying a lot in grocery shopping, in supermarkets, so it becomes very expensive if you have, and especially when they get to the age of the teenager, they eat, you know. You know, when they're young, you can give them things here and there, but when they get to an age where they really need to eat, it becomes very expensive for the family. So I feel like people are choosing to have one, two, not unless where I live now in North Carolina, they still have the culture of having many kids. But I feel like it's because they're privileged. Because a lot of times you will see the government is coming in, giving them food stamps, it's giving them free education. And that's why I see now in America, public schools, um, they provide everything, pretty much even lunch for them, books for them, pretty much everything. So you see, that way they just have a lot of kids because they know the government is there. But a place like Africa, it's there's no free education. There's nothing like that. So people are struggling in that sense. That's why people are having very small families.
Small family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're a young girl growing up. You have many siblings around. What did you see with mom and dad? Like, what were things that you noticed around them? Maybe you still carry with you today.
Mm, yeah, I would say giving. My mom gave a lot, and just being that person who's welcoming. I've carried that from my mom. My mom, when we grew up, as much as we were 8 kids, sometimes we could see other kids, they're brought in. Sometimes the food was so small, but we were forced to sit together on the table and eat together, you know? And that's what I've carried on. For me, I don't discriminate. Whoever, my house is always open for everyone. And that has, I've even carried that to my husband. Someone said, one time my friend said, whoever is going to marry Lois has to marry the entire family. And, and he loves it. Like when you call me, tell me, Lois, I'll be in the US, or even when I was in Dubai, even when I was still in Kenya, even when I was in the UK, my house was always open for everyone. That's my mom. Even until today, she has so many people at home. I'm like, Mom, but she's like, no, this is how we were brought up, So we cannot start saying no now because this is what we've been. So yes.
And what did you learn from Dad?
What did you say?
What did you learn from Dad?
From Dad, he is very ambitious. He is very he gives you wisdom, yeah, and he really pushed us, to be honest. My dad, as much as he used to be on field work a lot, that's why you will see me speaking a lot about my mom, because my dad traveled a lot. He used to do government work and he was always gone. So when he comes home, we used to have meetings like every hour.
Really?
And all the meetings was about encouragement. I need you guys to do this because the future out there is very hard. Life is hard. So I need you to follow the steps like Kuka Joseph follows. So he was more a talker and just more encouraging on how we should carry we should carry our legacy in terms of just growth and developing ourselves.
So do you think like having like mom and dad there for you helped you when you started to go through life?
Definitely, even until today, yeah.
And how was your relationship with your siblings?
My siblings, oh, perfect, perfect. Like it's one of those, like they say, siblings will always be there. You fight. Sometimes we have a WhatsApp group when somebody is not being nice, we remove them, or they remove themselves, but we bring them back, or they bring themselves back. So that's what family is. It's never a family member is easy to have a conflict than an outsider, because a friend, you'll say, anyway, it was just a friend. But a family, when you have fights together, you always remember, no, we grew up together, so you will always go back to each other. So we are as a family, we are very tight together.
So do you get mad if someone removes themselves from the WhatsApp group?
No, we remove them. I don't. I'm like, if they are not cooperating, we remove them. They know themselves. So we remove them, but it's always very nice. I'm not an administrator. Just the other day they put me on an administrator, because if they did put me on, I would have removed everyone and left myself. So yeah.
Oh, so now you're an admin.
I am, but these days I'm a mother of two. I try to stay out of trouble.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. So, like you said, so now you go through high school. You're in that phase of your life. You're going into a grown woman. So you're saying you're into hair.
I was then, but and then I because everybody in Kenya wanted to leave, to go abroad, because they thought that is where the dollar cream is, So I left Kenya at a not very young age, but I left Kenya when I was 21. I went to the UK. So I lived in the UK for 6 years.
Wait, how did you get to the UK?
How did I go to the UK? Oh, so there was a program that was running for people who wanted to go and just advance themselves. So the program was for about 1 year, but you have to always renew your visa. Every year you have to renew. But it was a struggle, to be honest. Every time it was a struggle, because I had to go to Kenya every year, renew come back, go, come back. And UK was becoming strict and strict and strict. So then I started to look, what are the other chances that where I can go, you know? So then I went back to Kenya, but Kenya did not also work for me. That's when I decided, you know what, maybe I should look again. And I wanted to always be a flight attendant, to be honest. So I was like, because with KQ was a little bit harder. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I can go to Dubai and try to start to apply. Then when I started to apply, for some reason, I went with Emirates, I went for like about 2 interviews. I went all finals, but I couldn't succeed. But I realized my mistake, because with Emirates, they don't want someone who likes to talk a lot. And I'm one of those people. So I used to get qualified, you know. So and then I joined the bank. So I was working with the Mashud Bank in Dubai. So I did it for 3 years in customer service. After that, then I applied with Emirates. Finally, I got it.
What was it like working for Emirates?
Oh, beautiful. You know what? I always tell everyone, I will never I will never say anything about Emirates that I wasn't happy. I was happy for 13 good years.
13?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So you were good, huh? 13 years.
13 years. And I was gonna go more. But to be honest, when I got Emirates, I said, they're the ones who are gonna chase me and close the door and say bye bye when you reach 50. But obviously, as I say, when you start having a family and the distance, so you have to choose and decide what is best for the family. So, but I worked with Emirates for 13 years. I loved it every day, every beat. It gave me what I wanted. Um, in terms of, because when I left UK, to be honest, I left with zero, nothing, no investment, no. I struggled.
And you were there for 6 years.
6 years, but I didn't have anything.
Wait, what were you doing there? Like, what job did you have?
So there, it's very hard. So because I wasn't going to school or anything, I was doing just casual jobs. They were just casual jobs. So it was nothing fancy or nothing, because most jobs there for people who are there, unless you're like, even when you're going to school, you will still, a lot of people will do casual work until you finish, maybe you have your master's degree, then you start getting those good jobs, or you have the paperwork that is required to work.
And so you decided to come back to Kenya.
Yes.
And you know what? Like, if I think about it, that's such a good move, because a place like London, if you're in those things where you're struggling a little bit, or you're doing those jobs, it's not the best place to live.
I know it was hard. Even just the visa status, I wouldn't say it's something. Obviously, if I had a choice, I would have stayed.
You would have stayed.
I would have stayed, because when you look, going back to Kenya and buying back in the UK, you get something. You get, like you're able to do here, support the family, and I was supporting the family.
Pounds as well.
Pounds was a good thing.
Strong.
So if it was my choice, I would have stayed. But the visa status would not have allowed me to stay, and it was becoming so strict. So that's why, sometimes, hey, you have to accept. You can say, yeah, you want to be there, and then what? You end up, you're there 20 years, 50 years, you don't have papers. But if I had papers, for sure, maybe I would have stayed there. Who knows? Yeah.
Wow. So now you didn't get the job twice. What made you go back again? And how was that process now going for Emirates?
So now, after I did, because I used to, all my friends were cabin crew. I'm the only one who wasn't a cabin crew. So for me, my job was Monday to Friday. And for them, they had days off. So I found myself calling in sick all the time because I want to hang out with them. So my lifestyle also was becoming like their lifestyle. So it was like, I want to, and to be honest, I didn't like a Monday to Friday job, 8 to 5 job. I didn't like it. So I just wanted something that I can be happy, in it. So that's why I said, you know what? Let me keep on applying. So this time, at least I had an experience also, because now I worked in a bank in a corporate, you know, environment. So I knew how to answer questions. I knew how to deal with customers when it comes to customer service, and those are the things they ask for. So, and I knew the requirements, what they require. So, the 3 years that I worked with Mashrik, I earned it. So I knew when I was called for the interview, I was prepared. That's why I knew. And we were, to be honest, we were 100 people.
100 people.
100 people. But guess what? They ended up just taking 2.
Out of 100 people, 2.
100.
Because they go,
yes, they go through elimination process. And for some reason, actually what happened for my interview, we were 100, but they said they didn't find, I don't know, they just said me and one Kenyan. So that there was all nationalities. So there were 2 Kenyans. So they told us we're going to join another group of 100 the following day. And we had gone so fast.
Marketing is all about storytelling. Dad, when we first started this business, what did you say to me?
I said, yes, we do a podcast.
Why?
Because I want to tell our story.
Why?
Because I know the story builds a legacy.
Build a legacy. And that is exactly what we do here at ETS Rubasha Media. We market your story on social media so you could build a legacy for those who come after you, to build your business and your personal brand.
Yeah, follow us on our platform. Go on our website, etsrubashamedia.com.
This is about legacy, and it is about showing up on social media every single day, because if you don't show up, your competition will.
I was saying, oh my gosh, I was almost going through, now we have to join another group. But to be honest, we did well in that group. So from our group, they took the 2, and the other group, they took 1. So it was like 3 people out of the 100 and the 100. So they recruit, but they don't take so much. They just take this little. I don't know why.
Wow. So that's what you had to go through.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you felt prepared. This was your moment. So now you get the job. And by the way, like Emirates it's a world-class airline. Like we were having that conversation. Every time I've flown Emirates, all positive. Very good. The customer service. Me, one thing I like is customer service.
Mm-hmm.
Emirates, fantastic.
Yeah.
And I see why they're also such a successful airline.
The training. To be honest, Emirates gives you the training. That's why when you leave Emirates, you go and you start a new journey. If you fail, then maybe you didn't. Maybe something just went. Maybe what, I don't know. But the training Emirates give you open a lot of doors for you. It does help. Emirates has really built confidence, even with the current career that I'm doing right now. Sometimes I don't believe, because I used to say Emirates is a brand, a big brand. You can imagine they cared about crew, but even a little mistake, they will fire you because it's a brand, And that's why now that I have my own business, I'm making it a brand. So you can imagine if as cabin crew, we go on board and we don't deliver the customer service that is required, how are they going to do a return business? It's the same as me here. If I do not do my customer service and deliver, how am I going to have a repeated business? So it's about the brand. You have to build your brand.
I love that. That's a powerful statement. That's even an advertisement for what we do. It's so true.
Yeah.
Right. And it's interesting how you say that, like they make you understand how valuable your job is there to be so of service to the customer, that they've made you understand how important that is. And that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. You don't have a choice. You don't, because To be honest, I'm in America. I fly with the airlines in America, but I still say, wow, Emirates, they spoil the customer. I don't know whether to say they spoil the customers, which is a good thing. Emirates is not cheap. It's very expensive. US also, the flights are very expensive, but what I don't understand, why can't they just give the service?
So you're saying the airlines there, you can't compare Emirates and.
To be honest, my wish was to go back flying. You know, when I went to America, I was like, I didn't see myself in any career. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back to flying. So I was looking at, because some of my friends, they went to Delta, American. So I was looking at American Airways or Delta. There was a time I even applied for Delta. They called me, but then I found out I was pregnant.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but now now that I've identified what I want to do, I don't think I can work for an airline anymore.
Why?
To be honest, number one, flying comes with a lot of responsibility, and especially when you have a family. Because right now I have two kids. They go to school. Elia. So Ella goes. She's now in third grade. Elia is joining preschool. Just like once we leave Sydney, she's joining immediately, and you don't have anyone to take care. It's not like in Dubai we had the last year you could bring your relative, you could have a maid. In Dubai, in the US, there's nothing like that. If you have to have a maid, you will be paying them per hour. The minimum is $15 per hour.
Wow.
So what choice do you have? In flight, you're always gone. My husband, where he's working, he's always traveling. He's gone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So if we're both traveling, pretty much there's no one who's gonna look after our kids. So I quickly had to turn the clock around and see what I am good at doing.
Wow. Okay, so talk to us your journey now where you are. What made you get into what you're doing now? And by the way, guys, auntie here also, and which I want to talk about a little bit, is your Airbnbs. You've been giving me great advice. We run an Airbnb as well, in Nairobi, and yeah, I'd like to see your progression on there. So she's so versatile. She's a Wonder Woman. So anyway, okay, so flight attendant, you're like, no, look, I got to find something else to do.
Right.
So then, when do you meet your husband? And then what was the journey from there to say, okay, this is what I want to do?
Yeah. So
if you really enjoyed this video, make sure to click here, and I'm sure you're gonna love that one.